Brother Donnie, Country Homestead Preacher. I know it's been a while since we put out a homesteading video, but I want to introduce you to the landfill that we bought. And as you know, most of you know, we had bought 37 acres down to the south of us. Well, I have sold that property and we bought a 30-acre landfill. Not really, it's a landfill, but as you can see from the pictures that you just saw, on this property we bought, it's 30 acres. It has all the check marks that we were looking for. Water from the city, a large city, about 100 miles. We also have some infrastructure, and it's flat. Those were our check marks that we were looking for. So we were able to purchase this property. And when we bought the property on April 1st, all the junk was left from 2 mobile home sites. That included all the underpinning, all the wooden decking, all the conduit, all the air conditioning units, and you probably saw from those pictures that it was a mess. Now, I've never seen a property that had just about 5 or 6 burn piles. And for those of you that don't know what that are, maybe city folks, in the country, some country folks, instead of being responsible taking their trash, they just move it out in the burn pile and burn it. And that's what these folks had did here. Not simply cardboard, mattresses, car parts. Heck, they liable to even been a whole car that's burned down here somewhere. But we hauled junk off, 5 dump loads full of junk. So today you're going to see some video showing our progress. We've been in it now for 1 month. The property has electricity, has power on site. We've got one building here on the property which is going to eventually be our wash area for washing machine, deep freezes, an extra refrigerator, etc. So we're going to be building our homestead actually from scratch. And we've been working on it now a month. It took us just about 3 weeks to clean everything up. And it was a lot of work, and the whole family's been involved in it. So I want you to enjoy these videos as we start this new journey. All right, so y'all come with me. One requirement that we had for purchasing property was that the property had some measure of water source, either a pond, a creek, a well, or something. Well, on this property, the Lord's blessed us. We got about a 2.5 acre pond, as well as an artesian well or spring on the other side of the pond, and then there is a runoff creek. Now, since moving here, I've been able to fish a couple of times, and one reason we wanted not only the water source, we want to have a food source. And this pond is loaded with largemouth bass. That's a pretty common fish here in Alabama. And I think it does have some bluegill also. But we eventually will use this as a meat source, and hopefully we're going to be able to use our spring or artesian well as a water source one day. So you can see I've got my old boat down here, and it's a beautiful pond. It's deep. I think it's probably about 15 or 18 feet down in the middle. It's spring fed. It does have a lot of cleanup that needs to be done around the pond, and you can kind of tell that there needs to be some brush taken out. But we are excited about this. Now, this pond is not aesthetically pleasing as the other pond on the other land. However, I just feel blessed to be able to have a pond. Again, meat production and a water source if needed. folks, as you can see, this is one of our pasture areas, and this is probably about a half-acre field. This will be where our temporary location for the goats will be once we get our stuff moved over here. And you saw from the other videos, the land goes pretty far back. Like I said, it's 30 acres. Got some pasture land on the backside, got some clearing that needs to be done. But right now I'm going to take you through and show you a path that, the path was kind of already here, but I got my tractor and I cut Jennifer a path that's going to lead to our garden spot, our permanent garden spot. Now we're working on a temporary garden spot, but this is a path that's going to be relatively close to the house, and it's going to lead out to about a 2-acre garden spot. And many years ago, the original landowner, this was his garden spot many years ago. The soil is beautiful. We thought initially it was going to be red, but after cutting it and looking down at some of the soil, it's a good mixture. Now, you'll notice when we get down here that it appears to be heavily grown over or grown up. This was nothing compared to what it was when we first bought it. And I took my finish mower and cut down all the, or most of the blackberry bushes. And when I say blackberry bushes, I'm not talking about these little ones you buy in the store. I'm talking about 5.5 foot tall blackberry bushes. But you can see here, it's about maybe a 2-acre, 2.5 acre field. He run his rows a long ways of the field. This will be our permanent garden spot. And a while ago when you were watching the video of the other side of the property, that is to the south down there. And this is going to be an awesome garden eventually. We'll have to run our fence, our deer fence, and this should be able to provide enough food for our family with more to add on if we ever need it. right, guys, this is my favorite tree on the whole property. It's called a white fringe tree. Some people call it an old man's beard tree. And the Indians used to use it for the bark. They would make salves out of it for pain and different things. But this is my favorite. It's beautiful. It's got great fragrance, and it does kind of look like an old man's white beard. You see that? But this, I think, is breathtaking. Now, these are common all along the east part of the United States, all the way up to Pennsylvania, and I just think they're just beautiful. And as you can see from the background here, are the forest part, or the woods part, is pretty extensive, and there are probably 12 varieties of trees in these woods that the original landowner planted. We've not identified all of them. We are just now trying to get our infrastructure set up, because what we're going to do, we're going to of course put our home on the market. We're going to move over here in the RV, and we're going to be working on the infrastructure. There was already power here on the property. There's already county water here. I don't like that too much, but there is. So we've been working really non-stop all month just to try to get our infrastructure. We're working on the chicken coop right now. We're working on the goat fencing. So I want to invite you to join us as we come along. We're not going to change our channel name, but we're going to be just simply known as Country Homestead Preacher of Heritage Lake Homestead. And the reason that we want to have a heritage, we want to teach our children Judeo-Christian values, but we also want to teach them about the land. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that you can learn all you need to know about gardening and food and animal husbandry, but if you don't get right with the Lord through Jesus Christ, it's of no avail. So if you don't know him, talk to him today. This is Brother Donnie, Country Homestead Preacher. God bless you.